Your soil is starving, not for fertilizer, not for compost, it's starving for life, the kind of microscopic life that turns dead dirt into living ground. And here's the secret most gardeners never learn. The fastest way to wake that life up isn't store-bought inputs. It's fermentation. Long before modern gardening trends, growers were brewing living solutions that rebuilt soil from the inside out. Today, we go beyond Bokashi and unlock those forgotten techniques for Soilsage Chronicles. This isn't about magic powders or expensive systems, it's about simple ancient processes you can make in a bucket. Fermentation doesn't feed plants directly, it feeds the invisible workforce beneath them. Bacteria, fungi, and enzymes flood the soil, breaking down organic matter, unlocking minerals, and building structure. The result is stronger roots, richer soil, and plants that grow with quiet power. Let's get straight into the methods that actually work. Why fermentation beats raw compost? Compost is slow, Bokashi is faster, fermentation is immediate. When you ferment organic material, microbes pre-digest it, nutrients become bioavailable, acids form that suppress harmful organisms, enzymes multiply. Instead of waiting months for compost to mature, you create living inputs in days. Fermented inputs don't replace compost, they supercharge it. They turn tired beds into living ecosystems. And, you can make them with kitchen scraps, weeds, rice water, and a little bit of time. One of the most powerful ancient tools is lactic fermentation. These microbes, they dominate decay, they suppress rot, they convert waste into usable nutrition. To make a soil-grade lactic culture, rinse 1 cup of uncooked rice with 1 liter of clean water, swirl gently for about a minute, strain the cloudy water into a jar, then, just cover it loosely and leave it at room temperature for 2 days. You'll smell a light sourness, that's life. Next, add this rice water to 1 liter of milk, leave it loosely covered for about 5 to 7 days. The milk will separate. The clear yellow liquid is your culture. Go ahead and strain it. To store, just mix 1 part culture with 1 part brown sugar by weight. If you want to use it in the garden, dilute 1 tablespoon of this concentrate into 10 liters of water. You can apply it as a soil drench or compost activator. It speeds up breakdown, suppresses odor, and helps rebuild microbial balance. Ancient growers fermented fast-growing plants to capture their nutrients at peak vitality. So, first, use young green leaves, weeds, or soft stems, then, chop them finely. After that, weigh the material. You'll want to add the same weight in brown sugar. Massage everything together until liquid forms. Next, pack the mixture into a jar, but be sure to leave some headspace. And finally, just cover it loosely. After about 5 to 7 days, go ahead and strain the liquid. This is, honestly, living plant nutrition. To use it, just dilute 1 tablespoon into 10 liters of water. Apply this to the soil or spray it on leaves in the early morning. Leafy greens really love this stuff. Fruiting plants respond with deeper color and stronger growth. You're actually feeding both the plant and the soil biology at once. Fermented compost tea that actually works. Most compost teas fail because they lack energy. Fermentation fixes that. Fill a bucket with 10 liters of water, let it sit overnight to release chlorine. Add 2 cups of finished compost. Add 1 tablespoon of molasses or raw sugar. Add 1 tablespoon of lactic culture. Stir well. Cover loosely. Let ferment for 12 to 24 hours in warmth. You'll smell sweetness, not rot. Use immediately. Drench soil around roots. This tea doesn't just feed plants, it inoculates the soil with armies of beneficial microbes ready to colonize organic matter and protect roots. For tired soil, it's best to combine methods. First, drench with lactic solution at 1 tablespoon per 10 liters of water. Use 1 watering can per square meter, then 3 days later, apply fermented plant extract at the same dilution. So, 1 week later, water with fermented compost tea. This sequence resets biology, it softens compacted ground, earthworms return, roots penetrate deeper. You're not adding chemicals, you're rebuilding an ecosystem. So, why does this work so fast? Well, fermentation produces organic acids, and these acids dissolve minerals that are usually locked away in the soil. Suddenly, calcium, potassium, and magnesium become available for plants to use. Meanwhile, microbes multiply exponentially, and that in turn helps outcompete harmful organisms. Pathogens just lose ground. Plants feel this change almost immediately. Their leaves deepen in color and growth becomes steady, instead of weak and spiky. The soil even holds moisture longer and that tough crust on the surface just disappears. This is exactly how ancient growers managed to maintain soil fertility for centuries without ever depleting their land. So, let's talk about some common mistakes you really want to avoid. These are the things that can trip you up if you're not careful. Rot is not fermentation. If it stinks, it's wrong. Always keep air limited, but not sealed. Gas must escape, that's pretty important. Use clean containers every time. Keep your ratios exact, don't just eyeball it. Never apply concentrates directly, always dilute. Microbes are powerful, so respect them. You know, the future of soil is actually ancient. Modern gardening, well, it teaches us to feed plants, but ancient gardening, it actually fed life. So, fermentation, it kind of bridges that gap. It turns scraps into power, weeds into fertilizer, waste into biology. You don't need more products, you need more life in your soil, and honestly, life begins with microbes. This is what Beyond Bokashi really means, not a trend, a return. At Soilsage Chronicles, we don't chase shortcuts, we rebuild foundations. If this changed how you see soil, hey, go ahead and subscribe, share this with a gardener who's stuck, let's bring living soil back, one garden at a time.